Alright, so we're going to talk about what the Atlas Knight tells us about Atlas itself, the kingdom, today. And we're going to examine this from about 3 points. 3 points that I can figure out. Now, this is mostly just about what the Knight can tell us economically, socially, and why it was created. The first thing I have to acknowledge here is that, one, these things are really cool. They make a really exciting world. They're interesting, incredibly creative idea, and overall awesome. But they also tell us a lot about the world of Remnant. We're going to examine that real quick. So the first one we're going to talk about is what it tells us about Atlas's population. Throughout Volume 7 and 8, we see a whole bunch of posters trying to recruit people to the Atlesian military. So it's not like Atlas is exclusively using these knights to defend itself. It's using a mixture of both its human troops and the Atlesian knights. And it tells us that Atlas can't get enough humans. We see in Volume 3, in Volume 2, and in Volume 7 and 8 that the Atlesian Knight is not superior to the actual human soldier. It is actually an inferior troop. And so, it has to be backed up with human troops. They are more a manpower multiplier than they are a replacement for human troops. This is an incredibly interesting idea. But it also tells us that they don't have enough people to actually make a whole army out of just human troops, so they have to go with this subpar unit. Now you can think about how this might act as a multiplier and other things. You could have a squad of 5 human troops going down and clearing an area. Squad would probably be 4 or something, but I'm going to say 4 privates and 1 corporal or something like that. And they would be pretty effective. But if you had, say, 20 Atlesian Knights added onto that, you have 5 squads with 1 human and 4 knights per. Right? Am I doing the wrong math? I might be wrong there. But you get my point here. That these things would multiply the number of human troops that you could use. Now, you'd obviously back them up with human troops. You'd have the instructions. But they're not that intelligent, so you need to back them up with the human troops. They actually remind me quite a lot of another show which uses droids and other things, which is Star Wars. Specifically, in Star Wars Clone Wars, we see that the CIS uses lots and lots of robotic troops, but they're not high quality. And the reason they're not high quality is that they're expensive. And I have a feeling that this tells us also something about Atlas as well. It does not have the overwhelming economic ability to produce high-quality ones and stay solvent. So they have to use a much lower-grade soldier. They can't put high-level AIs in all of these things. Meaning even the mighty Atlesian economy has limits. We see this similar in Star Wars The Clone Wars with a couple specialized droids, but they're super expensive, so they don't make entire armies out of these things. And this is obviously what's happening here in Ruby, is that the Atlesian Knight is super expensive. So they can't make they can either make a ton of them, or they can make some really high quality ones. And Atlas clearly has chosen that it wants more troops as opposed to better troops. So it tells us the mindset, which moves us on to point 2. Why do these things exist? Well, there's one person we can probably point to, and that would be Ironwood. Ironwood's ambition here is for a massive army to fight Salem. And he is faced with the problem that Atlas does not have a massive army that she can call upon. So he has to supplement it with these. Now they're super creative, interesting, and overall, not a bad choice. I mean, if you're backing them up with real soldiers like he is, also with combined arms like the Atlas battlecruiser and the Paladin and other things like this, they make a lot of sense. Not to mention they also work as a great domestic control, which we're going to get to in point 3 here in a second. So it shows us a lot of Ironwood's ideas and creative thought. Again, Ironwood is a very intelligent commander, and so this is a really good idea. But they're not a good replacement for humans. And Atlas knows this. Taking us to point 3, these things show us a attitude of the Elysian people towards the poor. Now I use poor here because both poor humans and poor faunus are included in this. And this mostly comes down to 7 and 8. In Volume 7, we see the attack in Mantle. And we see a combination of human and Elysian Knights. But mostly Elysian Knights trying to hold off the Grim. There are some human forces, but not a ton, kind of how I was describing they would be used before. Well, in Volume 8, we actually see Atlas attacked, with the giant Grim whale landing on Atlas and disgorging its army of Grim. And the force that comes to fight it is almost exclusively human. Showing us that when it really matters, Atlas isn't going to use the Elysian Knights. It's going to use actual troops. This shows us how Atlas actually views the people of Mantle and the Faunus. They do not regard them in high regards. They see them as lesser than them. They are extremely arrogant. And the Elysian Knights themselves don't cause any problems here. But they show us that they care less about Mantle than they do about Atlas. And honestly, that kind of hatred or that kind of dismissal of the people below them is one of the reasons I believe Atlas fell. I believe that if the two cities worked together as one, they would have had a much larger military force and a much more coordinated response, and that they wouldn't have needed as many of these Elysian Knights. They would have had a lot more soldiers, and so they wouldn't need to use these things. And with a more high-quality army, they probably wouldn't have lost. But they were divided. And the Elysian Knight shows us that there is division. I think there's a lot we can learn from this. I don't know if I got everything about the Elysian Knight, so this may be a topic that comes up again. But until that time, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to actually do a closing thing here in a second. And we may have to revisit this at some point. So, until then, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. And if you like this, consider liking and subscribing. And you can also go check me out on my gaming channel, Neil47 Games. There should be a link appearing on the screen right now. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.